Okay, let's unpack one of the most, I think, creatively conceived teaching tools we've seen in a long time. It's called a máquina da Carlota.
Carlotta's machine.
Right, Carlota's machine. And if you have ever struggled with that jump from simple math to algebra, or you even tried to explain what a function is,
Oh, it's a nightmare.
it feels incredibly abstract. It's like trying to grab smoke.
Hmm.
Well, this resource, it takes that exact challenge and turns it into a detective story.
And that's why this is such a fascinating deep dive. We're not just, analyzing a math problem.
No.
We're looking at why this pedagogical project was so successful. Our mission today is really to unpack the creative journey of its author, Sergio Gómez Machado.
And how he turned a classroom problem into this huge multi-platform thing.
Exactly. It's got over 466 downloads from Casa das Ciencias. It's been a candidate for awards. It's a big deal.
So let's start at the very beginning, because the best solutions always seem to come from a real pain point in the classroom. Why was this machine even necessary?
It was born from pure, you might say, desperation.
I know that feeling.
Yeah. The author was trying to explain mathematical functions to his 7th grade students in Portugal. That's their 3-2 Ciclo curriculum.
And that's a tough age for abstraction.
It's incredibly tough. The source material actually calls functions one of the bugbears of mathematics.
A bugbear, I like that.
Because they demand this abstract leap where kids are just used to concrete numbers. And the old methods, they just weren't working. The whole concept of f of x, it wasn't landing.
So how do you make a bugbear less scary?
You give it a name and a story. And the name, this is the best part, it was a complete accident.
Oh.
So the author is at the board, he's drawing this huge, complex-looking machine to try and visualize a function, and a student just asks, what's it called?
Right.
And in that exact moment, a student named Carlota, who was running late, walks into the room.
No way.
And just like that, it became Carlota's machine.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
But then that moment, that accident, it creates a need for a real story, right? You can't just name it and move on.
Exactly. And the narrative he came up with is actually, it's quite emotionally grounded. We meet Carlota. She's spending her holidays mourning the loss of her best friend, her grandmother, Anna.
Wow, okay.
And she's in the old attic going through this mathematical memories chest. So right away, the math is tied to something personal, something deeply felt.
It's not just a homework assignment.
Not at all. And the adventure kicks off with something so simple. A tennis ball just rolls away from her.
Good.
And as she reaches for it, she discovers this older box hidden under a blanket. And inside that box, a coded coffer.
And there it is. The lesson becomes a treasure hunt.
The initial challenge is just superb because it raises the stakes immediately. She needs a 3-digit code to open it.
So her first instinct is, what, her birthday?
Yep, totally rational. She tries 232.
Gales.
Instantly. A digital display just flashes. Code wrong, you have 2 more attempts. So now there's real pressure.
So what's her next move?
Well, in the box, she finds this big piece of paper, and on it is a poem, which is actually a mathematical mnemonic.
A memory aid, right?
Yeah, a way to remember number sequences. So she tries counting the letters in each word, which generates this really, really long string of digits.
And she thinks that's the key.
She hopes so. She adds up all the digits, and she gets 155.
Which is not the code.
Nope. Code wrong, only 1 attempt left.
Yeah.
You can just feel her frustration. She's trying to connect with her grandmother's memory, and this puzzle is just blocking her.
This is where the real creative leap happens, I bet.
It is. She's so distraught that she just sort of flings her pencil down, and it lands on the paper and makes this tiny little mark, just a scratch between the first digit, 3, and the next one, 1.
And that's the clue. A random pencil mark.
That visual cue is everything. She looks down and she sees it, not just a string of numbers, but 3.14159.
Oh, it's pi.
It's pi. She realizes her grandmother left her a puzzle about mathematics' most famous constant.
But wait, how reliable is that as a teaching moment? An accidental pencil scratch seems a bit random.
I think it's reliable because the story presents it as a moment of insight after a lot of hard work. It's not magic. And she puts it together. She knows that mathematicians often just use the 2 decimal approximation.
So 3.14.
Exactly. She enters the code, 31-4. And the coffer clicks open. The key thing here is that the abstract number, pi, became a tool to solve a crisis in the story.
It's not just a number to memorize for a test.
It's the key to the treasure. And we know this puzzle wasn't a one-off. The author had already developed it for his Despertar para a Matematica club.
Ah, so it was tested. Part of a previous work, 00 Pio Agente Irrational.
Right, so he was building on a proven idea. He knew this riddle worked.
So she cracks the pi code. But I'm guessing the story's not over.
Not even close. It's a total Matryoshka doll moment. She opens the coffer, and there's another box inside.
Of course there is.
And inside that box is the device itself, a máquina de Carlota.
This is where the narrative finally connects back to the actual learning objective.
100%. The machine is the concept of a function made physical. It looks sort of like a whimsical little engine. It has a funnel on top for input and a spout on the side for output.
At first, she just uses it like a calculator, right? Like 2 + 3 = 5.
Mm-hmm. But then she sees the display is labeled with these abstract terms, F, X, and Y. And that's the moment that usually terrifies a 7th grader.
Right. Why is it so important that the machine shows both Y and FX? What's the lesson there?
It forces the student, and Carlota, to see that a function isn't just a result, it's a process.
The transformation.
Exactly. The letters F, X, and Y feel so static in a textbook. But on a machine that's actively doing something, it tells you Fx is the engine's rule, and Y is what the engine produces.
It externalizes the whole process.
It does. And she figures out she has this glowing ball that projects a number. That's her input, that's X.
Orange ball.
Right. And this leads to the big discovery phase. She puts in the orange ball that's projecting the number 3.
And what comes out?
The machine whirs and clanks, and out of the spout comes a blue ball projecting the number 7. And on the screen it says Y = 7.
So she tries it again?
She does. She puts in a 5, the orange X, and out comes an 11, the blue Y.
So now she's acting like a scientist. She's seeing a pattern, forming a hypothesis.
Precisely. She quickly figures out the pattern. The output is always 1 more than twice the input.
So she tests it.
She conjectures that if she puts in 4, she should get 9.
And does she?
She does. She gets a 9. And in that moment, she has successfully reverse engineered the algebraic expression. She gets that the machine is taking her object, x, and substituting it into the rule, which is fx = 2x + 1, to produce the image, y.
So what's the ultimate payoff for the student then?
The definition of a function, which is usually just a dry sentence in a book, becomes her own personal discovery.
It's something she figured out.
Right. Her realization is that a function is this thing that makes one unique image, y, for every single object, x. The scary variables are now just parts of a cool machine that solved her grandmother's puzzle.
And the success of this, of demystifying FX, it clearly resonated way beyond just that one classroom.
Oh, absolutely. The machine went from being a classroom tool to a celebrated public resource. It's available through Casa das Ciencias, and the hundreds of downloads prove how popular it is, especially for that tough 7th grade unit.
And pedagogically, it's gold because it's so hands-on.
It really is. It encourages problem solving, motor skills, imagination. It's a perfect fit for, modern SDAM methodologies.
And I love the extension activities. It's not just about Carlota's story. It's about getting students to build their own machines.
And with recycled materials, this is where the creativity just explodes.
Or what kind of stuff are they using?
The source material lists these great examples. They have a phosphorix made from matchboxes,
Okay.
a Pringlix built from an empty chip can, and a Magix from toilet paper rolls.
That's fantastic. It proves you don't need a huge budget for innovation.
Yeah.
Just ingenuity.
It really does. And you have to admire the author's dedication. I mean, Sinjo Gomes Machado was invited to present this at a big international meeting for Casa das Ciencias in 2019.
Right.
And the documents say he got on a train from Viseu to Lisbon, hauling this massive 50-liter black bag filled with recycled junk, just so the teachers in his workshop could have hands-on materials.
That is real commitment to the method.
It speaks volumes.
Yeah.
And the impact didn't stop at the Portuguese border. The whole narrative was adapted into a stage play.
A play, you're kidding.
A full theatrical production. It was called CSI Matematica Calculo Sob Investigação.
Math is live theater. I love it.
And it was even translated into English for an Erasmus Plus project. They called it The Grandma's Machine, for a program on math for fun.
So it's a kind of idea that can just transcend language and culture.
And medium. From a story to a physical object to a play. That's what makes it so powerful.
So if we go back to our mission for today, what we've seen is how Carlota's personal journey, the mystery, the connection to her grandmother, it didn't just teach the mechanics of a function.
Yeah.
It completely demystified those abstract variables, X and Y, by making them critical parts of this tangible, emotional quest.
Which brings us back to the resource's special status. It technically belongs to the author, but it's hosted by Casa das Ciencias as this trusted educational tool. It's been a candidate for Resource of the Year More than once.
More than just a lesson plan.
It's become a piece of educational culture. And that raises a really interesting final thought for you, the listener. When does a simple classroom idea, one born out of sheer necessity and creativity, stop being just a teaching resource and become something more, something lasting? What mathematical bugbear from your own school days, maybe it was trigonometry, maybe calculus, could have been solved if only it had been disguised as a treasure hunt?